All right, hey guys, it's Noe, and today I thought I would do a little video on me painting. So this is a piece that I actually need to make more of, but this was kind of a prototype piece that I had tried out. And if you can see, this is none other than Bigfoot or Sasquatch, the Squatch, however you want to refer to him or her, right? So this was actually a stamp that I got. So it's a carved out wooden stamp. Then I did the circle, so it's kind of coaster size. So what I'm hoping to do eventually is to do these as coasters. I did have a customer do one of these as a magnet. So I had done like 3 magnets on the back, just because it is a bigger piece. Like you can see my hand, and this is it in my hand. So we're gonna paint this today, and we're gonna paint Sasquatch in some traditional colors. So today I have my Mako paints. So in the studio we offer both Mako and Duncan. But the Makos are just easier to travel home with me. So I am using Down to Earth, which is a dark brown. I'm using Birthday Suit, which is like a tan, and I'm probably going to be mixing a little bit. And then I've got Irish Luck, Leapin' Lizard, and Green Thumb. So 3 different shades of green here. And I will probably be doing some mixing with there as well to get some shading and whatnot. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fill in my Sasquatch first. And I'm just going to fill that in with the dark brown that I have here. So make sure that you can still kind of see. So when you are painting your ceramic pieces, your bisque pieces, we do suggest that you paint at least 3 coats of each color if you want the most coverage and the most vibrant colors to come out after they fire. So if you want to that, you want to do 3 coats of each color if possible. So this one, again, I'm using a kind of a fine tipped brush just to get into the cracks and the details of the fur here so that it doesn't get lost. And I'm really just starting out kind of doing an outline of it before I go in and fill it in. So yeah, and this was kind of a prototype because I didn't get the stamp quite deep enough. So there are parts of him that are not as deep as I would like them to be, but it's okay. And so this will be a sample piece that can be in the studio and can be on display there. So, you know, Sasquatch is a big thing up here. I do believe in Bigfoot. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's kind of silly not to think that there's other things, other species. So yeah, I believe in Bigfoot. Let's see. Filling this in. Oh, sorry, I'm getting my details in, so. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe that there's a Squatch in them woods? I think there's a show called Bigfoot Hunter that Herschel and I watched, and it was about people who, well, are none other than Bigfoot hunters. and it's pretty entertaining. But that's a line from that show. I think there's a squatch in them woods. I don't know what I would do if I came across like a Sasquatch. Like if I was out in the woods, minding my own business. What would I do? What would you do? Do you think that Bigfoot would be more scared of you than you are of Bigfoot? I think that's highly possible. Especially if Bigfoot has been gathering intel on us for years and like generations. I'm sure there's stories that are passed down about us and like, you know, the vehicles that we have and the weapons that people use when they're out in the woods and the noise makers and everything, right? I mean, because think about it, it's animal instinct for like animals to hide when there's people around. So if we're going to say that Bigfoot is an animal, which we're animals technically, then I think it's highly likely to say that Bigfoot might be more scared of us and what we're capable of doing or what we'd want to do to Bigfoot than what Bigfoot would want to do to us. Anyway, not to get deep into conspiracy theories or anything, but I always find it interesting. Yetis, Bigfoot, I think it's a highly possibility, or highly likely. There is something else out there. So I painted 2 bowls yesterday. Unfortunately, I was comfy in the living room, sitting on the floor, watching TV, and I was not in any position to do filming that would have done it justice. But I did get some pictures of the pieces I did, and I'm pretty pleased with how those turned out. I did 2 pasta bowls, so I think they look pretty cool. Okay, this is really, I don't know if you guys can see this so far, but he's really starting to take shape. I like it. For me, painting is just, it's therapeutic. I tend to, well, I not tend to, I do have anxiety and tend to be a little, sometimes OCD in terms of like, lines have to be perfect, that kind of thing. And so just filling this in is just, it just feels good. But I've always liked to color since I was a kid. I've always liked arts and crafts, that kind of thing. So this is really fun. And it doesn't really feel like work. And that's what you're supposed to find in life, right? Find a job that doesn't make it feel like work. Gotta get into those toes there. Okay, and some fur down there. Sorry, when I get into the groove of painting, I tend to get very quiet because I am focused and I don't want to go over a line that I'm not supposed to, but I also just kind of get lost in it. So I tend to get quiet, and you know, that's not always me. Although I will say I'm a lot more quiet than what I used to be. sometimes. You know what would be cute to see? Is a Bigfoot baby, right? I think a Bigfoot baby would be really cute. But yeah, so I've got him, or her. I guess this would be a him. We'll go with the him on this one. I've got him filled in. I am gonna let, you can kind of see the parts that are still kind of wet, so I am gonna let that dry before I go over a second coat. But yeah, check that out. I think, yeah, I definitely need to get back in and get more of these pieces made, because I think these will be a big hit. Look.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Sorry if you hear like squeaking and stuff. I traded my office chair in here at home for a yoga ball, because I was just getting backaches and stuff from the way I was sitting and working from home. So I traded in for a yoga ball, so I get a little squeaky. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, kind of let these parts dry, but I'm gonna start in on my second coat here. So when you're painting pottery, the paint that you're using is actually a glaze. So you're adding color, but you're essentially protecting the piece. And the glaze that we use, again with this Mako, it's non-toxic, it's food safe, so it's lead free. So that is great. I mean, not that I'll be eating off of this, but we do have a lot of pieces that you're using for food. So that's good to know. Yeah, using a fine brush is really key, especially with fine details like these, so that he can really stand out for the design that he is. Yeah, I'd like these grooves to be a little bit deeper, so it's a little bit easier for folks to paint. But this isn't bad. But if you're a first-time painter, it might be, I could see it might be a little frustrating. So I would definitely want the grooves of the stamp to be deeper. That's why you do practice pieces, right? Okay, filling in the arm here. All right, about halfway there here on the second coat. coming along nicely. We've got one more leg. Again, this is the second coat that I'm doing. Okay, there's the second coat, guys. So you can see he still looks good. Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse that because I think what I want to do now is once this dries, I'm going to mix in some of the light brown, the birthday suit, which is like a tan here. Gonna mix that with the Down to Earth to make a lighter color so you can see some depth in his fur. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint the green part. And I had said initially that I was going to mix them, but I think what I'd like to do, I really like the ombre effect of you have the lighter to the dark. I like the blending. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to start light and go dark. So, and again, I have the 3 colors I'm using here. Let's see what kind of brush I want to, I might go ahead and use a brush like this, if you can see that. So again, it's fine tipped, just not as fine tipped as this one. You can see, there you go. Okay, so we're going to go light. So we're going to do some Leapin' Lizard. Leapin' Lizard. And just going to go in. Oh, you probably can't see that. Go in carefully around the edges and paint it green. You want to be careful not to mess up the lines of Bigfoot that you already painted and filled in. So you want to have as steady of a hand as possible when you're doing fine details like this. And on this, I kind of tend to go a little thick, so I might not have to do 3 coats, and might just end up doing 2. Kind of like to pile it on there, especially when it's about getting close to the stenciled part, or the stamped part. that's probably where I'd start to blend in the second color. But I'm going to finish this green right here on this side. You guys, oh, you can't see. Sorry, it's hard because I've got to have it close to me so I can see, but so you guys can see too. This probably would do well to film from above, so I'll have to see how to figure that out for next time. Okay, so there's some green, my first color of green. I'm going to go ahead and merge into this green. And this is the green thumb. I'm actually not going to rinse my brush or change brushes because I think that will help with the color blending. Sorry, this is one of those times where I'm like intently focused. So it's not going to be a whole lot of talking. Alright, coolness. So I've got the second layer of green there. You can see that. And on to the third for the Irish Luck. Again, I'm not changing the brush because I think that will help with the color blending, maybe. Maybe not, but it doesn't hurt. So this is one of the things that I enjoy doing, that kind of allows me to just immerse myself into the project at hand. So again, it's kind of relaxing, but what are things that you guys like to do? How many of you have painted pottery like this before, gone to a studio and done it? Or how many of you paint? I've always wanted to try watercolors, but I don't really know where to get started on that. Also, I feel like I have a few too many hobbies in terms of like supplies that I get, but don't always follow through with. So I don't know that I need something new to pick up. I think Herschel would probably agree. My craft supplies are pretty intense. But it's good because I have a wide variety of different things on hand, and sometimes that works to my advantage. All right, so there is Sasquatch. So again, the lighter green, the darker green, and the dark. So Sasquatch is completely dry. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and mix in some of the dark brown with the light brown, just so we can get some contrasting color. And I actually don't want a lot of paint on my brush when I do this, because I want to try to make it seem like fur, to make it a little more realistic, right? And just kind of moving my brush in all kind of angles here to, again, create that imagery of fur and lots of hair, right? And then we mix a little more dark brown around. This is like my Bob Ross moment right here. Except instead of painting one happy tree, Bigfoot is in a whole grove of happy trees. He's in a happy forest. Maybe make his toes a little bit darker. Little fingernails, a little bit darker. Yeah, but some light here, some dark tips there. Maybe a lighter face. All right, guys. Dry off my green. But this right here is basically finished. So I will go back over and do my greens, but I don't think you really need to watch me do that again. I've done the initial thing, so it's just going over that again. But this is my Bigfoot piece. So let me know what you guys think. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.